Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Jake-Ludington here in Singapore for HP's APJ announcement today, and I'm here with Steve Dietch, who's going to talk a little bit about the overview of what was announced this morning.
Thanks. So we had 4 announcements today that reinforce our strategy and actually extend it, adding more value to the solutions that our customers buy. The first one has to do with a new set of data center transformation services, which help our clients actually transform their compute infrastructure to be cloud ready, and in many cases accelerate the move to the cloud by up to 40%. Second, we have a whole set of announcements around our CloudSystem ecosystem, from new financial services offerings to new cloud centers of excellence where we're utilizing our partner capabilities as well as our own expertise to deliver more access for our clients around cloud. Third, a new set of elements to our virtualization family, which is a packaged turnkey solution based on both HP and Microsoft technology. And fourth, we're offering an exciting announcement about a world record benchmark performance around our 3-part storage capabilities.
What's significant about making this announcement here in Singapore in the APJ region as opposed to anywhere else in the world?
I think it's pretty clear. This is where, you know, you're seeing really the combination of hyper economic growth coupled with business model evolution, coupled with explosive social change, and then finally wrapping that with all the technology innovations that are coming to bear. I think a lot of other regions you'll see components of that, but I'm not quite sure you'll see anywhere else other than in Asia Pacific where all of those dynamics come together.
In terms of the finance piece, I'm based out of the US, I live in Seattle, and that finance component isn't really something that we talk much about in the US as being a significant offering from a technology provider like HP. Why is that significant in the context of the announcements made today?
Business and IT executives want financial stability. And what we're offering as part of a previously announced $2 billion global financing program, specifically on the cloud, is to give clients an opportunity, particularly enterprise clients, an opportunity to significantly reduce their upfront expenditures and actually provide them with the means to lease a cloud environment. Significantly reduce those, and actually to a point where for only less than $10,000 US, actually for $9,500 US, bring to bear that initial cloud environment based on our cloud system, where we bring hardware, software, and those initial deployment services, and allow them to actually conserve capital. And that's key today. And there's a lot of financial managers, CFOs out there that are trying to balance their capital expenditures versus their operating expenses, and we're helping them do that. Secondly is if you're a service provider, or in essence delivering cloud solutions or services to a marketplace, you want to make sure you're balancing your expenditures with your revenue intake. In many cases, you'll invest a lot of money, but the revenue will not immediately follow. That could be 6, 12, 18 months out. With these financial services offerings that we're announcing today, we're actually allowing service providers to start with very small payments and then ramp that up as their revenue and expenditures actually align.
So that might be more targeted towards the company that is providing infrastructure to other companies, not necessarily a company who's looking to in-house a whole lot of infrastructure.
Right, infrastructure or delivering cloud services in general to, instead of a private cloud, which I think you're referring to, a service provider that's offering services to a broader marketplace. And that could be infrastructure services, development services, or even software as a service.
What's significant about, I'm going to shift gears here a little bit, but what is significant about 3PARs sort of like blowing everyone else in the storage space out of the water in terms of performance? How does that change the game from HP's perspective?
Well, I think it was mentioned today the capabilities that 3PAR brings. Scalability, the utility computing, it has cloud characteristics, it's multi-tenant, which is important from a security perspective, and it's autonomic, which is essentially it manages itself. So it has all the characteristics you're looking for from a cloud or utility computing perspective. That's number one. But probably the more important thing is that it's got super performance. And what was announced today was, record-breaking performance benchmarks that showed that it was just miles ahead from an input-output per second performance perspective, but also coupled with latency or response time. And you saw it yourself. The numbers were incredible, and that's been validated by the most prestigious third-party storage testing entity on the planet, and signed off actually by our competitors. Given that storage with data is really the essence of the cloud, is essentially your information and what you're going to do with it, and you want easy access to it. By having all those characteristics plus a high-performing, low-latency cloud storage infrastructure makes for the ideal environment for a customer looking to deploy the cloud.
I think one of the other significant things that I noticed today is that you're talking about having these cloud centers that are going to be deployed, if you will. I guess you're not really deploying a location, but around the world. But more specifically, 50% of them are in this APJ region, and that's sort of a dynamic shift in the way IT has been serviced in the world, at least up until now.
Not surprising given the dynamic nature of Asia Pacific, and I can tell you that 50 is just the beginning. We've got a lot more in process and a lot more that are getting interesting. You saw the map today; it only covers a fraction of what we can envision being our cloud centers of excellent coverage in Asia Pacific. Both a combination of partner centers as well as HP centers of excellence, where we have today in Tianjin in China as well as in Singapore, and I believe we've just opened one in Beijing also. But you can expect more and more to come about that. The reason being, particularly as we emphasize our partner centers of excellence, is the vast majority of customers actually buy through partners, or they're looking to partners for advice and technical guidance, and then ultimately the infrastructure from HP. So we're going to leverage what is the largest, broadest, deepest partner ecosystem in the planet by far, and utilize that to bring cloud technology and expertise to the marketplace.
And then on top of that, you've got the new alliance offering that is online for any alliance partners to be able to access resources that should help their deployment. Are those two things kind of the linchpin of making HP kind of over the top, the choice that people should be choosing for the cloud?
Well, I think it's a combination of all that. So you've got the cloud centers of excellence, which bring know-how, live demonstration capabilities to the forefront, to actually, with the broadest possible reach to the client base. And then you've got this new Alliance One program, which is around bringing a one-stop shop for folks that want to develop services and solutions and bring those to the cloud and CloudSystem. I think it's that combination with the technology leadership that we bring around CloudSystem and our converged infrastructure, which is built on server. We're the #1 server vendor on the planet. Leader in storage, leader in networking. We're the 6th largest software vendor on the planet, and we bring probably the leading cloud services automation software, which combines with our converged infrastructure to create CloudSystem. And then beyond that, you talk about our services capabilities end to end, from consulting to assessment to design to implementation to support, and you've got a combination that's unmatched from an industry perspective.
So the last piece that we haven't talked about yet is the virtualization, the Microsoft offering. What is, in your mind, the key components that make up what was announced around HP and Microsoft partnering today? Yeah.
I think the destination for most customers is the cloud, but one of the first steps to get there on the maturity curve is to virtualize. That's just a strategic underpinning technology to creating an extremely efficient IT shared services environment that's a linchpin of the cloud. So we're making it a whole lot easier for customers to adopt virtualization, move a lot faster with turnkey solutions, bringing together underpinning converged infrastructure technology from HP with leading Microsoft virtualization and management technology as well. Bring those together and just making it easy to consume and deploy virtualization. It should not be that difficult to be able to do that.
And that's something that you see making sense in the context of Hyper-V as opposed to VMware or any of the other virtualization solutions?
So we offer our VirtualSystem turnkey solutions for both Hyper-V based and VMware vSphere-based systems. Virtualization technology is absolutely a tenet, a pillar of the HP solutions as you move from consolidating and standardizing your environment to virtualization and then ultimately to private, public, and hybrid clouds. We love it. We love both Microsoft and VMware. But at the same time, we're going to drive leadership as it relates to what that destination is for our customers. And the destination is cloud, and that shared services, self-service, automated environment built on multiple hypervisor technologies from Microsoft and VMware and open source and so forth. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to, I guess the bottom line, the operative word here for customers is we're going to give them choice.
So you're looking at giving choice and removing obstacles is really the goal, and it doesn't matter who the software provider is. The idea is you're making it easy for the customer no matter what.
That's right. Customers, look, we're in chapter 0 of the cloud. This is just starting. This is, any technology momentum or evolution always takes time. So you're seeing a lot of interest, the adoption starting, but at the end of the day, most customers are fairly immature as it relates to the cloud and moving from virtualization and so forth. They want maximum flexibility, maximum choice, and we're going to give it to them. They do not want, actually the number one in many cases, if you look at some of the surveys recently, the number one concern of customers moving to the cloud is actually vendor lock-in, above security now, as security is maturing. People do not want to be locked in, and you've seen announcements over the last several days and weeks, and I don't have to mention who those are, which are clearly going to lock you in a proprietary or, whatever, some nonsensical manner.
You're talking about Oracle.
I'm not mentioning anybody here. I'm not mentioning anybody. With all the respect in the world, customers want flexibility and choice. And the cloud is not an appliance that doesn't scale. It's not a platform that provides, partial functionality. It's not a box that doesn't, burst. It's not the cloud should be there to give you maximum flexibility to address a diverse portfolio of services. And I'm convinced that we're the only vendor right now with that strategy and the ability to execute. If you look at every other vendor on the planet, I don't care if they're hardware or software or combination, they are only offering a partial solution to the problem.
Fair enough. Well, Steve, that sounds like you summed it up very well there. Thanks for your time.
You're very welcome. Thank you.